pretty good night's rest. Got the stove going, wasn't too bad. We got a couple days of what temperatures?
We've got decent temps today, and then it goes down to -1 and then -5. So the next couple days are going to be a little rough, but you know what? We got a stove and we got puffies. We'll be fine.
It's gonna be cold, boys. Just had a yard sale there. All the rain gear on. Hope the camera can handle the weather. Well, snow is awesome. Not really, but should be good for the rutting. Find a big mule deer back here. We're going deep where nobody goes.
Well, Brian, how do you like this weather? This is good stuff, right? That kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I've been checking the weather on my inReach every day, and it says 0% chance of anything. And this big squall came through, and it's throwing down some serious snow right now. And we got a lot of climbing. We got a river crossing to do yet.
James does the same thing you do when I put the camera in his face, like the same thing he used to do. James kind of locks up, says one or two things, freezes, eyes get bigger.
Keep holding it there.
I just keep holding it there, and he's like,
and then it's all really uncomfortable.
It's all awkward. Ryan's all smooth now.
I know, yeah. There doesn't look.
We're hiking straight into the storm here.
I see nothing flat.
No, man. We're getting, it's getting rockier and steeper, but.
All right, we made it. Ferried across river number 3, and now we're gonna head up where all the big muley monsters live.
Well, we got up off the river and we hit our first little obstacle. It's not a huge creek, but it's just over our boots. And when it's this cold, I mean, I don't know, it's cold right now. Number one, keep your feet dry. Last thing we want is wet feet down here to carry up on the top of the mountain. So we got a little bridge going of rocks. Brian, he manned some large boulders, and we got ourselves a bridge, so we're good to go.
It was that or take your shoes off and freeze your feet off.
Yeah.
So these rocks in the water are so slick, it's like snot. These new rocks are nice and grippy, so a lot easier to walk across that bridge.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it.
You slipped in a little bit.
A little bit. That's my normal move, though. I kind of run with it.
As long as you got the gaiters and you're fast.
Yeah, you gotta be quick with it. Yeah.
All right, should we go?
Yep, we made it. I don't know, it feels tiresome.
Well, we've made it in to the spot. Pretty much hiked up this canyon all day. Full bag, 6 days of food. It's been a grind. There is no trail. It's just bushwhacking, boulder fields. It was brutal. Take a look at this. It's incredible. We're kind of at the start of where we think we're gonna find some bucks. We're not gonna push into this country too fast. We're just gonna kind of sit back. There's a big ridge that runs up this that should be really good. We're gonna probably zigzag up this rock to the top and get a good vantage, look into it. Just spend the evening here, not going in too fast. We don't have much of a spot to camp, but it's gonna have to do. Well, we've got ourselves a little camping spot. Bunch of deer up there. Bighorn here, bighorn there. forecast says it's gonna be -5 degrees. We've been sitting here glassing for a little less than an hour, and there are does all over this hillside. And then at the top, there's a probably 3 or 4 bighorn rams that are pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Those sheep are just awesome to look at. Well, we just got eyes on the mountain this morning. Plan is glass here from our tent. What we were looking at last night, hopefully pick out a buck or two, but if not, we're gonna dive down 400 feet, up about 1,000 feet, and run this finger up and glass off that finger, and maybe get to the head of this basin, but real slow. We're just gonna look at everything and be careful not to jump or spook anything. There's deer up here. I can see does right now, but they're just all by themselves. There's no bucks, so I don't know. There's got to be a buck in this little basin right here that's worth chasing, but we'll see. Haven't found him yet. So we've looked at this mountain for a while, seeing the same deer we saw last night. No bucks. No bucks have moved in with these does, so we're gonna boogie down this mountain and boogie up this one and get up there to the top, get some new area to look at. I'm pretty confident we would have seen a buck if he was in this group. There's does kind of just scattered across the mountain and no bucks among them, so we'll go find one somewhere else. Well, we're just hiking up this drainage from our teepee and spotted a buck walking up the ridge here, so we got eyes on him and just kind of getting a feel for him. He's not what we're looking for, a little bit small, but he's kind of walking with that stiff leg, kind of like he's starting to rut a little bit, little attitude, so we're just climbing up this steep. Our shelter's over there. And Ryan hit the shed jackpot. Check this out. I want to find like a 230-inch buck. Yeah. He's just up over this hill, Brian. You know what I feel like, Ryan? I feel like I stumbled into El Dorado. And we're about to hit the treasure. Yeah. Because no one's been here. It's a secret. It's like a secret spot in the world that no one's ever seen. It's a buck oasis. For sure. Gotta be it. It'd be more efficient if we parachuted in. You're dang fool to hike into this madness. Alright, so we just got up on the top here. Threw our glass up. We picked up 5 does right out of the gates. It's just amazing country right in front of us. And right up on the ridge, this buck is cruising right up the ridge. He must have just been down checking those does, and he's shooting to go find some more, but he's a good mature buck. He's not a giant, but real pretty, nice 4-point. He's not spindly at all. He's a pretty good buck, but we'll probably just watch him and pick apart this whole mountain and see what else might be here. But feels like we're just getting into where we should start finding some mature bucks. Pretty excited right now. We're just getting here. That's awesome, dude. That gets you excited to see some buck moving. That's a buck worth taking if it comes down to it. But we're barely getting into it, so. Well, we've seen, I think, about every buck within eyesight of us right now, so now we're checking out some sheep. We got a pretty nice ram across the way, a couple other small ones, but pretty easy to pick up critters up in this area. But yeah, it's pretty cool watching this big old ram up on this rock crop, so I'll watch watch him till he disappears and then go back to looking for giant deer. I think I'd shoot him. Yeah. Well, James, Ryan spotted a buck over here. Pretty good one. I was filming some deer over off this ridge. James thinking he's a pretty good looking deer. Take a look at him real quick. See if he's a shooter. Oh, we got a buck. He's pretty nice. He's got a nice frame on him. Oh, there he goes. It's a 4-point. He's not super heavy or anything, but it's a pretty cool looking buck. And right now, of course, he's in the scrub. You won't be able to see him too well, but man, we take a look at that buck. He's a really pretty deer. He just doesn't quite have that age on him or that mass. He's got a nice frame. We still have a few days left. Yeah. And the rut's just kind of picking up right now. It seems like today we're actually seeing bucks cruise for does. I'd much rather shoot the buck we saw this morning. He looked pretty darn good. Gonna keep an eye on this one though. I got a question for you. Do you think I should have shot that buck? Yeah, I do. I'm hungry. Don't listen to James. Still got 3 more days. They're moving, dude. I think brow tine is bigger than both of them. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Brow tine was the prettiest of all, for sure. The prettiest of all. I would have shot that buck. Brow tine had 10-inch tines and 4 to 5-inch brows. Ryan should have worked harder to talk me into shooting that buck. I tried. He just didn't work that hard. James was working hard. It's a gimme. It was right there. It was too easy. It was day one. That should have been the plan. Yeah, James should have had a deer tag. What a dumb idiot. I should have got a deer tag. Yeah. There was no restrictions on camera guy having deer tags. He could have had a deer tag. But he showed up without a deer tag. That's true. It is my own fault. And you missed out on a big one. I could have had another one. With brow tines. Well, I don't know, we'll keep looking around. There's bound to be a nice big old mature buck coming down again. Yeah, there's some weather moving in now. Yeah. Well, I saw a nice buck on a ridge up here. So, put eyes on him, but we're a little far away. He bedded. We're gonna creep in, get close, see what he looks like. There's a lot of fog kind of blocking what we can see, so we're just gonna move in on him and see. Well, we're kind of in a whiteout. Our buck is right on that ridge, but yeah, there's no visibility. He bedded right there. I have no idea if he's still there or what's going on. But, gosh, we closed half the distance. Yeah. I didn't see this. There was like a 20% chance of snow, but this is socked in. It's pretty good, so. Of course, right when we see a couple of good dandy bucks, the fog sets in. But if this fog lifts, we'll scooch up here and get real good eyes on this buck. But he looks like a dandy, really tall, long tines. Unique. So, and he just moved in right when the fog came in. well, that's not the only buck. We haven't done an update, but Ryan spotted it. Probably the best buck so far. But he's way, way at the top. He's a dandy. He's a beautiful buck. Probably, I mean, we don't know how big he is, but he's the biggest buck so far. Yeah, he's a nice buck. He's real boxy too. This buck over here looks a little narrow, but this one up here is just that picture perfect mule deer frame, dark. Looks like his front's kind of curved in, so it got a really cool look to it. But the fog rolled in. There was no point going up in those rocks because this would have happened. We'd have just burned a bunch of calories getting up there and doing nothing. So he'll be there. Tomorrow might be our day. Hopefully tomorrow's our day. We were hoping to get eyes on this buck, but it's not going to happen tonight. We just wanted to know if it was one that we wanted to pursue tomorrow. We're not going to get eyes on it. It's just socked in, so we got quite a ways back to our little shelter. We're going to start back. I think it looks like we're going to get a lot of snow tonight, which is good. It just doesn't do us anything right now when we wanted to see these big bucks, but it'll be good for tomorrow. So we're going to roll back to camp. Well, the fog just lifted a little bit and we were just getting ready to head back. But we're moving in instead. It actually looks like we got some visibility. I see him. He's working down into that. Well, he's a good looking buck. He's really deep forked in the back there. He's just feeding. He's not super wide or anything, but I think he's pretty heavy. This buck, running close to 300 yards, and I think I'm gonna take him. He's a pretty cool looking buck. He's got a lot of character. He's high and tight, deep forked, not quite that much mass, but man, he's pretty deer. I like the look of that buck. 370. 370, he looks good. He's a handsome deer. Yeah, he's big. He's down. Oh,
That's a great shot, man. Just drilled him right through the bump.
That's awesome. He looked hit right off the bat.
Yeah.
Go home.
He got it right here.
Yes. You did a nice job, James.
We shot him any later in the day.
I know. It's already getting sketchy.
Losing light, and we got.
He's down. We should get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. That was cool. We'll have venison tonight, boys. It's a great shot. It's a great buck. Yeah, he looked like when he started coming down the hill, it's like, oh, he's hit. You always wonder, how good they're hit. He was dead on his feet. Well, he was going down that hill fast. He hit those logs. I hope he didn't bust anything up, because, man, once he started to flip, you could hear him just smashing into stuff. There's some serious mountains, James.
We're in it.
We're in it. Oh, I love this gun. I love this scope. It just knocks them down. We used it in New Zealand. It's just, yeah, I have a lot of faith in it. That's why it's fun to shoot, Man, we didn't think that was gonna happen. The weather socked in on us. We watched him bed down. I spotted him on the ridge. I was like, hey Ryan, take a look at that buck. He looks pretty good. And he's narrow, so from the side he looked like a giant. And then when we saw him face on, he's still a great buck, but he's tall and narrow. He's got some really deep forks. He's really handsome. But at first we thought he was like huge. And he is, for me. Gotta thank James for doing the camera work.
Thanks. Awesome adventure and great shot, man. I'm stoked for you.
That was freaking awesome. Happens quick when it happens. Been working all week for this. This little drainage. And then buck rolled to the bottom. Kinda handy. Oh yeah. Wow. What a beautiful buck.
How crazy is that building? Dude, check him out, Ryan.
It's just a cool deer, man. Heck yeah, man. Mountain Muley. Look at that. We're gonna have meat tonight, boys.
Yeah, he's got the Roman nose.
Yeah. And saying I like old and crusty looking bucks, or unique, bizarre. And this guy is so tall. Look at these backs. He's got some mass.
Let's see. It's gonna be. Yeah, dude. He's over 10 inches.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, we've got her all broke down. Now we just gotta pack her out and dump her. Oh, my hands are cold. Big mountain to climb. We've been climbing about half hour. We're almost to the top here, and then we can start going side hill. Buck down.
Buck down, and we're back to where we spotted him. I'm right here. We got 3 more days up here.
The rut is ramping up, and 3 more days. That one on the mountain is a monster. He's a nice buck.
Yeah, I got my sights set on that one. I really want him. If he comes, I hope he comes out of those rocks. He's gonna be a tough one to get. But
he's like a big orange sheep up there.
There may be more big ones coming in, you know, like yours. Isn't this fun?
This is so classic.
Just a blizzard, man. Oh man, that wind is fierce.
Doing my mom.
Doing good. This is how they feel like trying to stay just off his face and stuff.
I'm enjoying the weather and this beautiful day.
Here comes the steeps though.
Yeah.
And those little rock fields we gotta navigate around. We earned it.
I know how many days we've been in here.
10 days.
Sweet home.
Oh yeah. James? What's that?
I overshot our landing by about 50 feet.
That river crossing, or that creek crossing, that's like, you have to beat through the bushes like that.
Oh man,
It was brutal.
it's rough.
This thing off.
Yeah, it was brutal, man. But we made it. Got a ripping fire going and
Eat some meat.
dry out. Eat. Big old buck.
That is nice. There he is. What a sweet buck. Pretty stoked. He's just cool. Get the meat out and let it cool. Thanks for watching part 2 of this 3-part mule deer series. Tune in next Sunday to see Ryan, James, and I chase down a giant muley buck. If you'd like to be entered to win a brand new SX5 Santiam HD spotter from my friends at Leupold Optics, all you gotta do is subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and leave us a comment. We'll pick a winner on New Year's Day. Thanks for watching, and stay gritty.